quarter-final action from the Jason Owen Open. Jack Whelan against Mike King, and Mike King is flying out the traps. Cleared from a dry break from Jack, and now this off the zone break. Got a tough shot here though. Just drops. And now left with another really, really challenging pot. These are as difficult as they get. Oh, how well's he played that. Cued that delightfully. Oh, Black wipes his feet on both of the knuckles, but finds gravity, and it's 2-0 to Mike King. Flying out the traps, as I mentioned, the Exeter man. Trying to put a halt to this hot streak that Jack Whelan's on. Just comes away from the cushion. Quite often the pocket hasn't been taken, and when they just drift away slightly from the cushion, but he played it at such a nice weight that he gave it every chance to drop. Oh dear, disaster. Oh no. Look at that. It says it all, that face, doesn't it? It says it all. That face says, tells the entire story. And he knows that Mike's flying, so he can't give him chances like this. Only a race to 5, of course, so just can't afford for those mistakes to happen. Mike, of course, such a attacking, aggressive player. This is playing right into his hands because frames are just opening up. He was cueing a good ball last night as well, it has to be said. He's I can't remember his exact route through to here, but I know that he's had some pretty tough games already. Let's see if we can have a quick look. So he's beaten Dan Eaton-Lees, who's another man that's been playing well this weekend. Beat Dan 5-2. Incidentally, in the last 16, Tom Cousins is on the hill against John McAllister. So, as I say, Tom Cousins has an opportunity to recreate what Jack Whelan did down in London and win both events. Wouldn't that be unbelievable? Yeah, going back to Mike King, he beat Sean Story last night, 5 frames to 4. That was a late finish last night. I did catch the end of that one. In fact, I'm pretty sure he was 4-2 behind, and he won 3 in a row. 4-2 behind against Sean Story, and yeah, game before that he beat Aaron Davis, 5 frames to 2. Harvey Perry, 4-0 in round 2, and Matt Cook, who's another solid performer. Matt Cook was the player who took Declan Brennan out of the London event. And he had a really good game last night, actually, in the Friday night in the main event against Tom Cousins, and pushed him hard. So not the best break he's ever made, but actually the Reds have come out okay. Actually, looking at the table, it might actually be yellows. Looking at just a second glance, I hadn't noticed the yellow and red over on the left-hand side, but actually the yellow blocking the path to that red to bottom left. Actually, he may well elect to go yellows here. I think the 2 along the bottom cushion, after all that, he is going to go. I was going to say the two along the bottom cushion I think were a plant, but they are awkward. I mean, neither are absolutely straightforward. So this awkward ball, he's lined up for a double. And if he gets it, well, that should be the frame. He had a glance at the double, but decided against it. I think he's trying to leave an angle there to get across and try and develop that red. Still not got the angle though. So he may have to try and drop in behind it now and play it into the middle. Or top corner. Top corner's fine. It was one of those, I think he was playing to an area. I don't think he actually minded which. But, he's got it to the top and he's been nailing everything. You fancy him to make this. Right behind it. And he's got it. Again, played it perfect weight to give it every chance. This is great stuff from the West Countryman. I think the bookmaker would have priced this as Jack being a significant favourite. But this is as good as I've seen Mike King play for a long time. Oh, that was the curse. Wow. Had that ball for 4-0. And that was a massive shot. Massive shot. Could that be a turning point? Is that a moment where the pendulum swings? Goodness me, that could be a huge moment. If Jack goes on to clear these, Mike will be fuming that he's missed that black after everything he's potted so far. That was, well, you would have thought fairly regulation for him. He's been absolutely clinical and taken out some huge pots. I wonder if he possibly just took that for granted. Maybe just a lack of concentration, maybe just that moment where occasionally you're down on the ball and it just flashes through your mind, doesn't it? You think, here we go, 4-0. And suddenly the back arm just tenses slightly. I think the best players learn how to manage those situations, but you just wonder whether it was one of those for Mike where 4-0 just flashed before his eyes. A little shot of adrenaline, and it just seizes up the back arm. Gaz Hibbert flying, he's 2-0 up against Rob Warren. Carl Morris and Dom Cooney just getting underway. I just saw Carl heading to the bathroom for a comfort break before his game started. And the other one is Luke Gilbert waiting for the winner of Tom Cousins and John McAllister. John McAllister's won that next frame, and it's now Hill against Tom Cousins. Nice angle here. It's loading up with left-hand side, so maybe just a little more angle than would have been ideal. He's played that to perfection. You can just stun this in. And punishing Mike King to the maximum for that missed black. Nice. Nice clearance there from Jack. It wasn't a gimme when he came to the table. A couple of balls on the rails. He played it really well. And suddenly, from the game that could and should have been 4-0, Jack Whelan breaking. And if he can find a break and clear here to get to 3-2, then the pressure's right back on Mike. No. Slams the table in frustration. This is not good breaking for Jack Whelan. Picture tells the story. Oh, he's fuming in the corner, isn't he? Absolutely fuming. Of course, the score is actually 3-1, but Jack's not moved on his score on the pad since that last frame. I think that thought's so far from his mind at the moment. He's literally sat in the corner spitting feathers. It's a nice shot. Landed perfectly on this tricky ball. So I think he's going to play to leave the red closest to us as his last ball to get on the black. Now the perfect angle just to drift down into the gap between the two yellows, and now he can just run the cue ball off the side cushion. In fact, he didn't need to use the side cushion. He just had it was a little straighter than I thought it was. Simple stuff. Mike will be ecstatic after that miss black to be able to come back to that table and see such a simple clearance. What a time for the break to go wrong for Jack Whelan. Tom Cousins, John McAllister still tied up at 4 frames each. Dom Cooney's won the first frame against Carl Morris. Wants a big break, just wants this over with here and now. Last ball moving, dropped. Oh my goodness, that's going to annoy Jack even more. I guarantee he would have rolled his eyes to the sky as that red fell in. It was the last ball moving. It's just typical when it's against you, isn't it? Mike would have been overjoyed to see that drop, but probably not overjoyed to see this layout. This is pretty ordinary. So he's not played a pot there. He's actually a nice little containing shot, just to take away the attacking options. He knew that he'd be pushing the boat out if he went for any kind of finish there. So I think he would have wanted to cover this. So Jack just planting those balls down the cushion and covering that corner pocket. So this now could turn into a tactical frame. It just depends on how Mike sees it, whether he can manufacture something. Well, yeah, he's now looking at the deliberate foul, knowing that there's a yellow tied up above the left corner pocket, the 2 yellows below the black. It's going to be a big ask for Jack to get out with 2 shots. So I think he's going to play this and leave the cue, ideally play the plant and leave the cue ball touching between the rail and the yellow on the right hand side. So if he can leave it touching that, he takes away Jack's first shot. That's the one. maybe just would have wanted it a little closer, but I don't think Jack's got any attacking options from here. As I say, ideal world would have wanted it touching that yellow. So that first shot has opened up most of the table. Now only got that one problem ball tied up on the left hand side, and it's got a couple of options to try and move it with these two balls in the center of the table. He's also got a big pocket. As he left an angle, I think he's played to leave an angle on the yellow that's just to the left of the cue ball now. I think he has. Doesn't need to do too much, just full ball cannon on the red would be perfect, or yeah, full ball cannon on the yellow works equally as well. And this has been nice. It was a calculated risk from Mike when he played that deliberate foul, and in all honesty, I say it was important for him to get that cue ball locked in behind the yellow, which he didn't do, which allowed Jack to open up the balls, and here we are. Wants to play the yellow on the right first, but he's left a nasty angle, so maybe forced to take the one on the bulk line next. No, he is going to play this. Can he avoid the cannon on the red or control the cannon? He could. As I say, he had a big pocket up there, so he could just widen the angle, play it off the red. This looks fairly natural, just to drop on and off the side cushion, avoid the red on the left-hand side. Four frames to two. I can tell you that Tom Cousins' endeavour to win both events is over. John McAllister fought back from 4-3 down to win 5 frames to 4. So Tom now will be able to focus on the main event and that final against Stevie Dempsey, which I believe is coming up after the conclusion of this game. Yeah, I can confirm that the final of the main event is coming up after this game. scheduled for 12 o'clock, maybe just a few minutes late, but there and thereabouts. It's got a line through to the red, to the bottom left. So, yeah, it's gone wrong. He was trying to get through the gap. Not sure what he has now. I think he's taking these. I think he's got the perfect angle now to cannon his bad ball, and that is absolutely perfect. Oh dear. Not another one. Mike King. This is just simply down to the pressure of getting across the line and winning the match, because that was another moment of, it was that ball. That was it. Well, I wonder how Mike's feeling now. Doesn't look too perturbed, but, well, the problem is when you've had two glorious chances and two big missed chances, one of them to get across the line, then suddenly it's the finishing line is harder and harder to cross. done to Jack Whelan. Another frame on his side. The game is still in Mike King's hands. He has the break, he has control of the match, but now suddenly the pressure is firmly on his shoulders. He knows he's had a big chance, and if he goes dry or there's a mistake off of this break, then he may not get back to the table in this match. That's how suddenly this match could swing. Big break now for Mike King. Well, he nails it, but wouldn't you know it, isn't that just absolutely typical? It's unbelievable. Never been out of control in this game. Always had a firm grip on it, and suddenly the match is out of his hands. Will he even get back to the table? What a fickle game. Nothing in the way of Jack Whelan and 4 each now. 7 balls away from levelling things up, and of course he will have the break in the decider. So yellow to top corner, screw back down the table. I think he'll be taking, well, he can take him in any order he wants really, these last two. Just depends on how he sees the angle. I think screw straight back with a plan. Yeah, it's going to be yellow to middle next, and the one to bottom left last. Well, never looked like he's been in this match, but suddenly he's gone favourite. It's 4 frames each, and Jack Whelan has the break in the last frame. Advantage him. break's let him down throughout this match, but now he needs to rely on it. Normally such a big, powerful, reliable break. Oh, planted the cue ball. What about this? There's a, yeah, he's fine. Well, I say he's fine. What I mean is that cue ball was kind of tracking towards that right-hand corner pocket, and it looked like it may just for a second get a flick. He's obviously not fine in terms of where the balls have landed. The table's horrible. The balls kind of broke open and then converged back together again. So who's going to get first go at this table? What? Oh, Mike's giving away 2 shots there. That's a big risk. Especially if that red goes in. Can he get into this cue ball and screw into the pack? No, he's going to cover. Oh, he didn't want... No. Wanted to cover the pocket. And it's dropped in. Covering the pocket there was giving him a big advantage in this game. Well, I say a big advantage. I mean, he did leave it, so Mike would have had the problem yellow to top left, but yeah, he would have taken an advantage in the frame for sure. And now, suddenly, it's hard to see what he can do. There's nothing to go at, so no attacking options. Defensive options are extremely limited. Don't know what he's got. Key to the game here is that bottom right pocket. If Mike wants to take this tactical, then it's not in his nature, but oh, that could have so easily gone wrong. And what it actually does, it gives Jack half a chance. If he can cut this into the top right and leave an angle on the red in the middle of the table to get into his problem reds. But Mike a bit fortunate there. The cue ball could have easily got kicked into the middle. I think Jack realising that it's not the time to push the boat out, and he doubled that ball down, trying to get some control over one of these bottom corner pockets. Now all the balls are at this end of the table. It really is key to try and get some kind of covering fire in. Has he left a gap for red to middle? I don't think he has. Well, looking at the overhead, possibly. Not quite sure. Even if he has it, he'd want to take it. Can he glance off the red that he's closest to and leave the cue ball at the top of the table? I mean, there's nothing obvious to go at. No, he can't glance off it anyway. The yellow's in the way. I think this does go into the middle. It's just, yeah, whether he can leave an angle on the other red to play a cannon. That's top knuckle. That's top knuckle. Yeah, so he did. He left the angle, look, just to come down and cannon into the black and try and open everything up. But now, half a chance for Mike. Can he finally get over the line? He doesn't have to move anything, doesn't have to develop anything. Apart from the black, all of the balls have a pocket, and in potting, it's just about the order he takes them. So he needs to take the ball. That's a good cannon. I was going to say they all had a pocket, but he had a good angle there to cannon into them anyway. Does this go in off the red? It does. Just from the other angle, it looked a little bit tighter than that, but yeah, actually it was a huge pocket. So just bounce the cue ball on and off the cushion, leaving yellow to middle. Top it through, touch your right hand side. Oh my goodness me. Holy moly. Incredible. How many bites of the cherry? I mean, look at Jack's face. I don't think he can believe it. The shake of his head. He's just composing himself here. I don't think he can believe he's back at the table again. That is incredible. What a match. I think Mike's always quite pragmatic, and he'd walk away from this with his head held high for a decent performance to get to a quarter-final, but on reflection, my God, you just don't get any better chances to get yourself to a semi-final. Got off to an absolute flying start, going out to a 3-0 lead, should have gone 4-0. Then went 4-1, had chances. A tap on his leg. And great match to watch, though. Great match to watch. Jack will be absolutely thrilled. I don't think he can believe it. A puff of his cheeks. And I don't know. Smile on Mike's face, but I think he's probably not a true reflection of what he's thinking. Be really interesting to get Jack's thoughts after that game. I want to go and catch him in the interview room. We'll see you over there in a second, and next up is going to be the final between Tom Cousins and Stevie Dempsey. Jack, how many times were you sat in your chair thinking to yourself, well, this one's over?
4, probably.
Unbelievable. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got a great chance. He's missed the black to go 4-0, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, you're fuming because you've gone in off twice.
Yeah.
And I don't know, missed another chance in the last there. I could see yourself. I mean, you know you've got a simple clearance there, but even then you were composing yourself, thinking. I think you were thinking, how am I back at the table again? And now I really need to take these.
Yeah, 4-1. No, 3-0. Obviously, he missed the black. I had a good finish there to go 3-1. I thought if I can just dish the next one to go 3-2, I really fancy it then.
Yeah.
Dump the white in.
Dump the white.
He clears, and I don't know what it was at 4-1. Did he miss a chance at 4-1?
Yeah.
The yellow into bottom, top left.
Yep.
Yeah. When he missed that one, I thought if I could just stick around and make him win the frame.
Yeah.
It's like, with world rules, sometimes you can fall over the line,
Yeah.
whereas at black ball or international rules, you have to clear the balls up.
Yeah.
And I thought, as long as I don't give him 2 shots where he can just get to the black and then take 2 shots, make him make the finish. But obviously, I've had a lot of luck there, really, for him to make that mistake. Yeah.
I feel for him because sometimes the hardest frame to win is the winning. Well, I say sometimes, most of the time, the hardest one is the last frame, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I think we've all been there, and but for you, onwards.
Yeah, it's obviously pleased to get through, and it's a shame because Mike's a nice guy, and but you could just tell it was sort of building himself up to not to miss, because obviously you don't try and miss, but you could tell it meant a lot, and the more the pressure was building up, I could feel like that something was going to happen for me. And I think maybe 2 months ago I don't win that match, but because I've been playing a lot and I've been winning. And the more matches you win, the more pressure it puts on your opponent, sort of, because you're thinking, I've got to beat him now. And it sort of like went in my favour. Well, that's what I think happened there.
So another semi-final. Another win coming.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, you feeling it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Brilliant.
I felt really bad yesterday. I lost to Stephen Dempsey in the last 16, and I was really, really angry. And to be fair, I was surprised I got through the JJ match when I went straight on the stream last night. I was done. Like I was that mad with myself that I lost. But I played 2 games last night and then got through. Went to bed obviously and woke up. It's a new day in it, and just try and go again.
Yeah. Well, best of luck in the semi-final. Hopefully, we'll see you back here in the interview room after another win.
Yeah, hopefully.
See you soon. Cheers, Jack. Best of luck, mate.